Maplewood Heights was the picture-perfect suburban community. Manicured lawns, friendly neighbors, and strict HOA rules. But beneath the calm, tensions were brewing. It all started when Mr. Harold Finley, a retired teacher, painted his front door teal instead of the approved beige. A neighbor complained, and soon he was hit with warnings and fines from the HOA. What seemed minor quickly escalated. Residents split into factions. Some supported strict enforcement, others opposed the HOA's overreach. Board meetings grew heated, arguments flared, and accusations of bias and harassment were exchanged. Social media amplified the chaos. A private neighborhood group became a battlefield where screenshots of letters and emails were posted, turning personal disputes into public drama. Residents hired lawyers on both sides, turning small disagreements into costly legal battles. Eventually, complaints reached federal agencies, alleging violations of civil rights. The once friendly neighborhood was now a powder keg of suspicion and frustration. Backyard barbecues disappeared, mailboxes became symbols of conflict, and Maplewood Heights faced a question no one expected. How did a simple disagreement over a front door color spiral into a federal investigation? By the time federal authorities got involved, Maplewood Heights had already spiraled out of control. What started as small disputes over doors, mailboxes, and lawns had turned into legal battles. Some residents filed complaints claiming the HOA was harassing homeowners and enforcing rules unfairly. HUD and the FTC began investigating, requesting emails, letters, and testimonies. The federal attention only heightened tensions. Board members felt scrutinized and defensive, while residents felt vindicated but anxious. Lawyers were now part of the everyday neighborhood routine, sending letters demanding compliance or threatening lawsuits. Social media became a battleground, with screenshots of emails and HOA notices shared publicly, escalating the conflict further. Local media caught wind of the story, portraying Maplewood Heights as a cautionary tale of HOA overreach. Emergency meetings and proposed compromises did little to restore trust. Residents either refused to attend or stayed silent, wary of manipulation. Federal investigators interviewed everyone, meticulously examining evidence for harassment, bias, or civil rights violations. What had started as a minor disagreement had transformed the neighborhood into a tense, divided, and watchful community, where every action, small or large, felt loaded with legal and social consequences. Maplewood Heights had become a neighborhood divided. Formerly friendly neighbors now eyed each other with suspicion. Social media posts fueled the feud, sharing emails, HOA fines, and private messages for all to see. Even small disputes, like crooked fences or garden gnomes, turned into heated arguments. The HOA board enforced rules strictly, while dissenting residents resisted openly, some even documenting board actions. Backyard barbecues disappeared, community events were canceled, and service providers tiptoed around conflicts to avoid being drawn in. Federal investigators added pressure, requesting detailed records and interviews. Board members insisted they were following the rules, while residents accused them of harassment and bias. Even attempts at mediation often backfired, as trust was broken and motives questioned. The once peaceful neighborhood had become a battleground, with every action potentially escalating into legal or federal scrutiny. The federal investigation intensified, forcing Maplewood Heights residents to face the reality that their disputes had serious consequences. Investigators reviewed emails, letters, and social media posts, looking for harassment or rule violations. Board members were under scrutiny, while residents hoped their complaints would be recognized. Some small victories emerged, mediated agreements, clarified rules, fines were adjusted, and communication improved slightly. But trust remained fragile. The neighborhood had changed, with families more cautious and vigilant than before. Maplewood Heights had become a cautionary tale. A simple HOA dispute had escalated into a federal situation, leaving lasting tension, heightened awareness of rules, and a stark reminder of how quickly local conflicts can spiral out of control. Enjoying this deep dive into HOA drama gone federal? Hit that subscribe button to stay updated with more real-life neighborhood stories and legal twists. Also, give this a like if you found it eye-opening and drop a comment below. What would you do if your HOA dispute escalated this far?